Hi all, welcome back to more Europa Universalis, the price of power. This is the ambitious Margrave solo scenario. This will be my part 19. Um, okay, discovered some things today when I was watching back. Because I OD'd part 15 and 16 without looking at them, trying to get out there, trying to get some answers to some of my head scratching that was going on at the time. The downside to that is I don't get to see things and maybe try and fix things myself. I think there's been another bit of a mess in here. Um, so in part 16, I'm going to conclude out all this. I'm just going to carry on from here. I'm not going to change anything. Um, I'm pretty sure again there's been a mess through this whole war situation with Denmark, Hamburg, etc. And that's because, well, I've took a note here, part 16 at the 40-minute mark, and says, I don't think we should be checking the bot piece resolution flowchart at this time. So not sure what should have happened here. The comment I put in the header also added the fact that, because we already checked the bot piece resolution chart in the phase that we were meant to check it. Well, when we checked that, we found out we were still at war with Denmark. And Austria were still at war with Denmark as well. Sorry, Denmark were still at war with Hamburg and also still at war with Austria when we came through the bot peace resolution. And it never resolved into a peace. And okay, initially I had selected a different town, which would have made it a peace, and then I changed it. No, Grant. See, this is why I don't. I don't really want to. I just want to move on for this. I think we're going to find enough issues down the road. Well, I start checking the bot peace resolution again when we put when a rebel unit gets placed. Sorry, not a rebel unit. A rebel town gets placed on Hamburg, which then liberates Hamburg. Right. Now, at the time though, we're still at war, and it liberates Hamburg, and I then decide that we now shouldn't be at war. I mean, I don't know what you do there. But I decided to go through the bot piece resolution again to decide, and then we found out that okay, Denmark is now not at war, which means Austria is then not at war with Denmark, and everything's hunky dory. But the reason that these rebel towns are out there is because we were still at war. That's part of the reason that they were there, and I just think that was a whole mess. I'm not sure if Martin's seen all that or maybe missed something as well, but of course I've just uploaded part 17 and 18 earlier as well. Of course I didn't notice this as well, so 17 and 18 is just basically carried on. It's carried on from where we believe we should be. I thought about trying to fix all this, but I would find it difficult to start, I think. So I'm going to leave things because, I'm not going to try and explain it. It just was a bit of a muddle. So let's just leave things as they are, and if anybody makes comments that in the videos that at that area when I shouldn't have done that, fair enough. I've made a comment in the header about it as well. I have made a bit of a mess of this. I did think about stopping and doing a take two basically, starting again. Now that I've got some better knowledge of things, but I don't want to do that. I think we're into the swing of things, and although it looks like we've got some things wrong, I think I'd be better just pressing on. I've also got a wee note at the 57:45 second mark to not sure if I checked. Not sure if I scored for the mission card. No, I put that away, the mission card, but it was 2 points, and then it gave us it should have been 2 prestige, and it gave us the manpower token. Give us a +1 manpower. I've shuffled. I've not shuffled it back. I put it in the deck because we completed it. But I completed it and I left it. Although I've added the +1 manpower token, so I kind of feel like we maybe did add the prestige. Well, I've got a wee note here to go and check it, so why not just check it then, Grant? To be honest, I look back on the part on the video where we actually completed it was control electors, wasn't it? Control electors, something like that. And it's when we had to gain 3. Yeah, we completed it anyway, but it's when I got the +1 manpower. I just don't see the part where I actually gained the prestige. Although a short while after that in the next video I noticed I was on 4 prestige, which seems quite good. So I'm going to just say that we got the 2 points and just let it be done with that. And if somebody notices that I didn't give myself the 2, the thing was I didn't actually complete the mission. Well, I did because I gave myself the +1 manpower, but I kept the mission beside me and I was starting to doubt if I'd gained the prestige or not. But we'll just leave it. We'll assume we did. Okay, so, and then I've got a final comment here for part 18. Yeah, that's basically saying that when we start part 18, Austria bot starts going down the defend action, thinking that there's invaders, and I think we conclude that it isn't invaders, it's actually just occupied enemy, rebel towns that are occupied, not actual invaders. And it takes me a while before I realise that, but I've got the timestamp to say when I actually readdress it and go down hopefully what was, I think, the right sort of tree part of the flowchart. Yeah, that's all I've got there. So I'm just going to press on. I don't like doing this. I want to play the game and do it properly and all that, but I think there's been a few things muddled up and we just need to push on by it and hopefully learn from the mistakes, and hopefully I've got them noted in all the videos. But by all means, anybody else watching these videos, please add anything that you see that's wrong, just so that anybody else try to learn from that, understands that that's where things have went wrong. I did want to try and go back and try and change all this again, but I thought, oh, it's too much. It's hard enough here getting through this game without backtracking and changing too much. If it's something that's just happened and simple to do, I don't know where I would start. I would really need to rewind everything, I think, to come back to Hamburg being declared war on by Denmark and then go right back to there. But that's just too much. So just going to leave it and press on where we are. So it's not ideal. It's not really how I like to do things, but well, it's not how I like to do things, but right. There's a little red cube here telling me that it's Denmark's turn, and they must be drawing a bot card then, or maybe that's hasty graph. Might just be that it's their turn. Oh no, I tell you what, it's not. Yeah, because they're not. That was a silly place to put the cube, because they're going to do the event, aren't they? Because Denmark has got spent power is 5, and they've only got 4 available power, which is going to trigger moving on to the event, I think. So start doesn't apply. They're not under attack, and although their army's on the map, they can't siege anywhere. No, they're all fine. It's Austria still have a rebel town, but so no, doesn't apply. No colonists. The spent is greater than what's left though. So are they at war? No, they are not. So then it comes up here. Has picked event? No, it has not. So we're going to go to event, and then that'll finish this. And then we move across to event. So event, already taken event action. No, so we're going to roll a d6. And if I get a 4 again, I'll be starting to wonder seriously about this dice. Right, okay, so here we go. Rolling the d6. Right, okay, good. It's a 3. I was really starting to worry there that the dice was loaded of some sort. Just think every time I rolled it, it was a 4. Okay, so a 3 is pick right. Hang on. Yeah, that's right. Roll the dice. Pick rightmost revealed event. Gain 1 bot power if ducate's on event. There's no ducate's on any events yet. This is the first pick of events. So it's going to pick the rightmost revealed event, and it won't gain the bot power, no. Okay, so rightmost revealed event is going to be heretics. So it's going to pick that. Now, I have no idea what it does yet, but... And then we need to put 2 ducats on each of these. And now, do we reveal the other card now? I think we probably do. I don't think there's a problem in revealing it, Grant. So let's reveal the 3rd card now. Comet sighted. End is nigh. Oh dear. All players lose stability. You gain, or it's an omen. Choose an area adjacent to your realm. All players with towns in this area lose 1 stability. Oh dear. Stability loss then. Right, I'll need to seriously have a look at these now because, well, that's the one that was unrevealed, now revealed, so we're going to have to pick one of them. So I'm going to have a closer look at it, probably off camera, just have a serious look at it. Okay, so just back to the flowchart, just before we go and look at the event card that they've drawn. Right, pick rightmost event. They didn't have ducats, so no. Is this an opponent's event? No. Remember, there's none at all, none of the realm-specific events in the available events. So it is not an opponent's event. So resolve option A on the event. Now, you did say you were going to go and open up the file. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go and look at this file, and we will go and have a look at the Heretics card. So, oh, all right. Well, there you go. There's not an option A on this card. So... we need more assistance with this. Well, let's look at the card first then, before I go and look in here. Choose one of your own areas and one area adjacent to it and place diverse faiths tokens in both areas. Add unrest on one of your own towns in the first area and on any 2 towns in the second area. Then you may pay 3 administrative power. So obviously that's going to be bot power to research the tolerance idea, and the tolerance idea is up there. So yeah, I mean, right away with that, there's no option A. Now, okay, I might be able to get some information for the general event rules here. Martin did say that he felt the events were pretty clear and how you worked them through. This one's slightly different, so I dare say I would have to pick the first option on all sub-options. You see, use the choice process on page 3. So that would be, that's what we would be doing to pick which our own area was, using that choice process. And you've seen how it's quite vague, you know, it's alphabetical order unless there's the tax income bat and whatever. So this looks a bit fiddly, and I did say I was going to use that file. So let's go and look and find what we do with the Heretics event, or what is suggested we do within that file. And hopefully, I'm going to stick by that, but let's have a look first. Okay, so there's what we've got for card 154B, Heretics. You can see it's second from the top there. Hopefully you can see that all right. I think it's quite clear. So it says, no effect, unrest or diverse faith to own area. Okay. And then says select first. Select first his area. Then adjacent alphabet. Select first his area. So yeah, the bot. I'm thinking. Then adjacent alphabet. Oh, yuck. Yeah, that's not coming across terribly clear to me. So choose one of your own areas. So select first his area, then adjacent alphabet. Choose one of your own areas and one area adjacent to it, and place diverse faith tokens in both areas. And it seems to me that the bot will not place a diverse faith token or any unrest that says to their own area. So add unrest on one of your own towns in the first area and on 2 in the second area. Then you may pay 3 to research the tolerance idea. That's not giving me any info on that as well. I mean, okay, ideas today on they don't matter, do they? Well, no, that's not true. Actually, no, I don't think the bot can do that, can it? They get their ideas differently, don't they? Well, that's not as nice as I thought it was going to end up. I thought we were going to get a clear sort of understanding of what to do there. Now, maybe I'm being jumping the gun there anyway. So does it say anything here about them not gaining unrest then? Because it does want to, the card wants to add one unrest on one of its own towns, and then 2 in the second, and 2 unrest on 2 towns in the other area. So why would it? Losing, no, that's stability. No, hold on. No, but this is a secondary effect. These are secondary effects, saying bots always ignore unrest, but this isn't a secondary effect. This is part of the gaining stability, remove unrest. See, I don't think there's anything in this that tells me that they can't have some unrest. So, I mean, this file saying it's a bot, it's an event suggestion, this has to be done, doesn't it? I mean, unless something in the rules tell me that the bot ignores this. Okay, so I've been away trying to find some information on this. I don't know if I'm starting to get lazy or not, but I'm just... I think I could probably work my way through the card. It's just the event suggestion is... Man, I suppose you've got to decide either way. Well, using the event suggestion, I don't really know what to do. No effect, unrest or diverse faith. So, to own area. So that means that suggests that you choose your own area first, but you're not going to put any unrest in it or diverse faith. And then it says select first his area, then adjacent alphabet. So I suppose that's how you select the areas. Select first his area, then adjacent alphabet. Choose one of your own areas and one area adjacent to it with diverse faith tokens in both areas. So you wouldn't be placing a diverse faith token in the first area. Add unrest on one of your own towns in the first area, which you wouldn't be doing there, But basically this is breaking the rules of what the card says, really, isn't it? Which, I don't know, I mean, these are suggestions about how to deal with that. Maybe this is only the second time I've looked at this to an event. But, I mean, feels like it's completely altering the card, altering the actions on the card, isn't it? And you would add unrest on any 2 towns in the second area, which doesn't say you wouldn't do, so obviously you would do that. Let's look at the areas and see if I can work out maybe what would happen then. So I suppose I were to pick a Denmark area, and then we're picking something adjacent to it. I mean, the Denmark areas are here, 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 and here. And I suppose this is a separate area itself, isn't it? Scotland. That's a port, actually. So I think that's adjacent to that, for instance. So that might be relevant. So how to pick their first area would be, I mean, I'm assuming we've got to pick that. It says select first his area, then adjacent alphabet. I don't know if if there's a misprint in there. Select first his area. So go back to the selection process. Well, the fact, I don't know if this is a negative effect or not, because it's saying it's not going to put diverse faith. Well, hang on. The card itself, if you were just working out on the event itself, Grant, you choose one of your own areas and one area adjacent to it. And bad things are going to happen to both of these. So bad things are going to happen means that it's wanting to pick an area that has the lowest possible... sorry, is that the other way about? When applying an effect that directly hurts the bot. Yes. So the lowest possible tax value it wants to pick, which kind of makes some sense. It doesn't want to go on. So, right. This has got 1. This has got 2. This has got 3. This has got 2. This has got 2. This has got 4. So this one up here is the one that's got 1. Okay. So going by the card, if that was the first area, and then one area adjacent to it, so the area adjacent to it, no, I'm not going to look at the event thing again. Well, it wouldn't want to be in its own area because it's going to hurt this as well, and it can be in another area. So would it not pick there then? And in both the areas, now they're Catholic and Catholic. Oops. Yeah, teasers ain't the best, Grant. Be careful. So this is Norland and Trondelag. So place diverse faith tokens in both areas. And this was one of the bits that the event suggestion was overridden, I think. It says no effect. No effect, and then in brackets, unrest or diverse faith to own area. But I mean, they can get unrest. It's not that they can't get unrest. They can. The bots have already had unrest. I mean, whether they can't maybe deal with diverse faith. Now, what is diverse faith? That's a good question. So, where are we? Diverse faiths. Right, hang on. Right, so there's diverse faiths. No, I struggled to find the actual counter, but they're on the back of the Catholic ones. Whether they're on the back of them all or not, I don't know. There it's there. So it says sometimes an area simply has a diverse faiths token because none of the other faiths dominate in that area. Diverse faiths cannot be adopted as a state religion. Areas with diverse faiths are always considered to be in a state of religious descent, see below, for all player realms regardless of their state religion. Hang on. Areas with diverse faiths are always considered to be in a state of religious descent for all player realms, regardless of their state religion. Any non-player realms in such areas keep the state religion they are listed with on the realm player aid. Any non-player realms in such areas keep the state religion they are listed with on the realm player aid. On the realm player aid? Okay, so I mean, my guess is that if we do this to Norway, then it's going to keep. I mean, that's a non-player realm, so it's going to keep its state religion, which is Catholic. Yeah, I've went and asked like I say, whether I'm getting lazy or not. I've went and asked the question with Discord if somebody can describe how we go about this card. Yeah, not what I wanted. I was hoping for it to get a nice wee part in here, and it's not going to plan. Yeah, so I was wondering if there's something in the bot rules that says it can't do it, just because the event suggestion thing was like saying not to do this. Adopt a new state religion, also change religion of capital area and one more bot's areas to the same religion. Ignore non-applicable effects, but yeah, is there anything in the... Yeah, well, I mean, personally, to try and resolve this myself, just using the card, but then I should say I wanted to use this event suggestion. But I mean, it's completely changing what the card's doing, what the card says. But then maybe you're going to get that grant, and that's what you're wanting to do. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to wait and see if I get any. Maybe I should look at some of the other events, see if they... Because the bit... Apparently the bit in bold here, like there's bits in bold, that completely replaces the event that's written on the card. The one with the oblique and then the text is an addition to what's written in the card, it says. Additional information. But I mean, that does say no effect on rest of diverse faith to own area. Select first his area, then adjacent alphabet. I don't know. Right. It's a shame. The bits of the stuff I got done yesterday was good, and now I'm back here struggling away again, just because I can't understand what to do with the card. Either both ways. I mean, I'm struggling to even carry out the event on the card, and to be honest, when I look at the suggestion, I'm finding it even more confusing. Well, I popped a question out there. I dare say somebody will come and say something. So I'm just going to pause there. I'm 30 minutes in and we've not done an awful lot. I'm not so sure I'm going to get back tonight or not though. So yeah, I didn't have an awful lot of time. I think if it went smoothly, I would have had enough time for a part here. That's what I was hoping for. But it's not really panned out that way. So I'll just pause though. I won't just cut the video here, and whether it's tomorrow, I'll have to come back and finish this, which might be best. Give some time to somebody to try and come up with some answer to what I'm trying to ask here. Yeah, it's just a shame I'm getting stumped with something else, but yeah, I don't think we're finished with issues like this. It's going to keep coming. I just hope that it doesn't grind me to a halt. That's all. You know, the main purpose, although I keep saying my rules, I like to get all my rules right. Well, struggling with that in this game, but basically because I'm struggling to understand them. And but the real main purpose is to be having fun. I'm playing a game. This is not work that I'm doing right now. I done my work earlier. I'm now. This is my meant to be enjoyment and fun. And if things keep hanging up like this, and I'm not, it might just be me. You know, it could just be that I'm just not grasping how things are working. Because I have said that I do feel like it's a really good game. I just, if things like this keep stopping me, it's going to probably end in not the best way. But we'll see. I'll pause for now. You never know, I might get back to finish this tonight. If not, I'll finish it somehow tomorrow. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, back to continue this part 19, I think it is. I think I've got 30 minutes in there. I didn't get back last night, so but I did post the question on the Discord regarding how to deal with this event and possibly how the event suggestions file comes into it. So I have had some reply again from Morocco. Is it Morocco? I want to say that maybe that's the same guy that's answered. It's a totally different name. I want to say, could it be the guy Aran? He answers a lot of questions as well. I might be wrong. There's nothing to say who it is. Maybe just frequents the Discord rather than BGG. Anyway, he sent me a nice reply. Saying the event asks you to choose to it. Now, let's have a little reminder of the event again. No, that's not the best thing to do, Grant. Move that out of the way first, I think. The light in the back there was going to cause trouble. So, choose one of your own area. And remember, this is... God, who's this doing this? It's Denmark, isn't it? Yeah, it is Denmark, yes. So, choose one of your own areas and one area adjacent to it and place diverse faiths tokens in both areas. That's a tongue twister, that one a bit. Diverse faith tokens. Okay, in both areas, add unrest on one of your own towns in the first area and on any two towns in the second area. So you can see if you were playing this as a player, it's pretty simple to work out what you do. Now, if I wasn't using the event suggestions, I'd have to be selecting these areas based on the alphabetical bit and possibly the tax income, maybe looking at that a bit. But you can see that to pick an area, I mean, one of the towns is going to get unrest in the first area, two of the towns are going to get unrest in the second area. So, I mean, if you're playing this as a player, obviously you've got to target one your own, but you want to sort of hamper your opponent in some ways. So I think the fact that the bot I think this is probably a good example of how these event suggestions are going to make things a bit more interesting. Although I was a bit baffled by at first the fact that the event suggestion says that it doesn't have this diverse faith or any unrest for the bot, and that's why I was like, that's like overruling part of the card, but I didn't know how they sort of worked. So anyway, so his and then at the end it says, then you may pay 3 to research the tolerance idea. Well, I think the bot's just going to ignore that bit. There was no mention, certainly the reply I got here doesn't mention it, and also in the event suggestions it doesn't mention it, so I think we just ignore that one, that part. So, the event asks you to choose 2 areas, the first of which must have a town belonging to the active player. Yeah, okay, so I understand that, and if you were the player right now, you'd want to pick somewhere that you were going to be adjacent to somewhere you wanted to put 2 towns with unrest, wouldn't you? However, the bot event suggestion is saying that you will ignore the bad effects. I should bring the card at least to the side so we can remind ourselves again. Maybe you can still see that. So the bot event suggestion is saying that you will ignore the bad effects in the first area, the one that includes a bot town. So you're not going to put a diverse faith token in the first area and you're not going to add unrest to the first area. Because, we'll go back and have a look at that in a second. And then alphabetically choose the second area, but however, it does not overrule the need for that area to be adjacent. Okay, fair enough. So we're just going back to the normal decisions about how you pick that second area alphabetically if the tax part of it comes in. It's on page 3 of the bot rules, isn't it? So, this would be applying, this would hurt an opponent, wouldn't it? Benefit the bot, not specifically benefit the bot, would hurt the opponent. So you would prioritise province areas of the highest possible tax value before alphabetical. I really want to ask this question. When it says highest tax value and lowest tax value, and we're talking about areas here, I'm still not sure if it just means, if it was Austria doing it, if it just means the tax value of the Austrian provinces, or if it looks at an area, let's look at this area. If it looks at this area and says, right, the tax value, that's 1, because it's one Austrian town. If you're doing the bot, I know I've sort of mentioned this a few times, or is it counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 4 different realms, but they're on the one area? I mean, is it counting the total tax income of the area? You know what? I'm going to go and ask that right now. Okay, ask my question on the Discord, so we shall see. I don't think I need to know about that here just now anyway, but I need to know the answer to that because I feel like that's coming up. It's came up a few times, and I don't think it has mattered yet, but I can see it happening where I'm going to have to sort of decide. So, yeah, and that's I suppose it came up because it says there, and then alphabetically choose the second area does not overrule the need for that area to be adjacent. Well, the alphabetical bit, there's no talk on the card, I believe, about alphabetical, and there's no talk in the event suggestion table as alphabetical, so I'm assuming he's taken this from page 3, province area and C-zone selection when it talks about alphabetical, but remember it does say highest tax value or lowest tax value before alphabetically if possible. So again, it might come to it. It might be that the choice that could matter. So, and then, but finally here, this is what bothers me. However, he says, I'd probably add to that to make first area chosen one on the edge of the bot's realm and choose the adjacent area from among those with none of the bot's towns. Yeah, you can see that you wanted to target, obviously, yeah, you want the adjacent area not to be part of the bot's towns, but if you just followed the guidelines here without intervening there, it could end up, the bot could suffer, well, now the event suggestion only says that it'll ignore the bad effects in the first area, but let's just say the second area was part of Denmark's too. It doesn't say to ignore them. I mean, it's not what you would want to do. It seems clear that you would override that a bit, but it's where you've got to step in a little bit. So I replied with, okay, thanks, I haven't looked into this, but it seems that based on this event, the bot event suggestions will at times make big changes to how the event affects the bot. Also seems from your addition, which is this bit here, the last bit he finishes with, that certain choices will still have to be made, and these may be based on the right thing to do. Do you feel these changes balance out well to make for a better solo experience? Replies, I actually haven't dabbled in the solo in quite some time, so I can't speak much from personal experience. The guy that made the suggestion was probably the biggest playtester of solo mode, though, so he was certainly working from a pretty large body of experience. So yeah, I'd recommend trying them out, then make small adjustments for, and quotes, the right thing when it seems appropriate. And let's say, well, like you can see my reply there, okay, thanks, I'm not very good at dealing with the right thing, but I'd like to use the suggestion, so we'll plod along and see how it goes. Thanks again for your help. So yeah, what we need to, yeah, so it could well be that we are needing to step in here. But see, if we weren't using the event suggestion right now, you would still feel like you needed to step in and make a decision. You couldn't just base it on alphabetically. That's Because you could end up with two Denmark areas and them suffering twice, you know? I'm wondering if that's why the event suggestion removes the downside to the first area for it, in case, I suppose, is there possibilities that no, surely not. Sure, you're always going to be able to pick a second area that doesn't contain, it's not going to affect yourself, you would have thought. Right, so coming back to the bot suggestion there, it's there, heretics, second from the top there. So, and if it's not in bold, if it's in bold, that's, man, thinking of that as that completely replaces the event text. This one with a little slash before it, it tells you right at the beginning, to be honest. This is additional stuff on top of what you've got, or you can see it's adjusting it a bit, because that says no effect, unrest or diverse faith to own area, and that was confirmed in the reply. So it's not going to do the bad effects to its own area. I'm assuming it says diverse faith there, so I'm assuming diverse faith is a bad thing as well. So these are not going to go in the first area, and then select first his area, then adjacent. See, it does say alphabet there. So there you go. That does actually say that. So sorry, I take that back. Then I thought that was just based on page 3. Okay. Well, let's see if we can put this into place, and also use the reply that I got, that we will start by selecting an area on the outskirts of the realm. You're not going to plant it right in the middle, because, well, yeah, hang on though. Okay, so, damn, I don't know what I was talking about there. I got to answer my question anyway. Oh, it took about 3 or 4 minutes to get an answer. Roberto, he was a little confused by what I was wanting to do when I was asking, do you consider, does highest tax income mean, eventually I gave him the example, Austria had, well, let's consider this area here to this area here. This area's tax income has got 3 towns, 3 Austrian towns, so its tax income there is 3. This tax income, is this considered to be tax income in 1? When you're considering an Austrian bot event, no, not event, sorry, an Austrian bot action that's got to target an area, this has got 3. Does this have 1, or does it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tax income? And basically, it was still saying it depends what you're wanting to do, and it's coming down to, again, a decision that you're going to have to sort of make. Now, maybe these are going to be easier decisions, because his example was if you had to place a plague. Now, he knows what he's talking about. He's played the game God knows how many times. Well, there's plague up there. We've got that event exposed, actually, but in the possible events. Place an ill health token in one of your own areas and another ill health token in an area adjacent to it. Now, if I look up the event for that and the event suggestion, I'm sure it'll probably cover that. But I suppose he gave that as an example. For every so my guess is that having ill health in this area would be worse than having ill health in that area. But the conditions do say that when you're placing this, no, and then that, if we're saying this has got a tax income of 5 and this has got 3, then it says when it directly hurts the bot, you would pick the lowest area. So that would be there, and then that would be worse for the bot if you were considering that 5, that 3, wouldn't it? Because I'm guessing the plague's going to affect all 3 towns. With this, if we put it here, it would affect this 1 town. So I think that's where you've got to step in. You've got to say, well, look, this has got 3 towns, this has got 1 town, the plague's going in there, isn't it? But I dare say, if I'm talking about, and I'm not particularly talking about events, because hopefully this guy's got all these covered, and it was just how to make that decision. But okay, it is something that you've got to decide. Which another one steps in and I've got to make decisions, but this seems clearer. We'll see how the game goes on. We'll see what happens. Okay, so Right, yeah, I think I was opening things up here to try and make this decision about what we need to pick. We need to pick Denmark. I'm just looking at what have I done here? There it is, heretics. So no effect for unrest or diverse faith in its own area. And clearly, it's when it says own area, it's wanting to have one area of its own. Then the second one's, it says the second one's then adjacent alphabetically. But like the reply was, you're going to pick. I mean, I'm not going to pick. Is this easy to decide? Let's just say we pick Jutland, right? And let's just say the one adjacent alphabetically, let's just say it was Gotland and Skane here. Then I wouldn't want to pick Jutland because, okay, the event on the card says that this would get diverse phase and an unrest, and then this would get diverse phase and two unrest. However, in the event suggestion, it says there would be no effect in there, but if I'm picking there, this is still going to get the two unrest and get the diverse phase. So you want to pick an area that you can target something else, like if Brandenburg was adjacent. Well, it's not, is it? It's got to be adjacent then. Yeah. So his areas are here. I'm still thinking, I've not quite established this, but my guess is that this is adjacent to that. I mean, it is adjacent because it's got ports adjacent, Grant. Yeah, it is. It's adjacent. So this is adjacent to this. The thing is, this is adjacent to, like, this could come down and be adjacent to this. But I think what was our things last night? I was thinking about picking up here. Why was I picking here then? It seems like it's wanting to pick. The thing is, if it picks any of the areas, does it really want to be going in there? I mean, that's not its own area, but it's got a royal marriage and an alliance in there and 3 influence. So, I don't, yeah. It's sort of leaving me sort of to decide which one to pick first, though. Now, there's not going to be any effect to the area I pick first, and it's obviously based on the area that's going to be adjacent to that alphabetically. Well, let's say if we pick here Pomerania, you've got Pomerania, you've got, what is it? This is Prussia, isn't it? What is it? How do we not? It's little letters. That's why, because it's only a bit of it, isn't it? Yeah, that's Prussia. So PO. So Pomerania is going to come before Prussia, which is kind of good, I think, because. And then you've got, what is this? This is Lower Saxony. Well, actually, Lower Saxony comes before Pomerania. And then you've got another one could be considered adjacent as Netherlands. I think they're the only ones. I mean, this is not Denmark's area though as well. So I mean, but it is what Ostlandet alphabetically. So it seems like Lower Saxony is they've got a claim in there. Does that matter? Right? Are we going to go for? I'm just going to go for Jutland. But then there's not going to be any effect in Jutland. And then Jutland is going to be adjacent to Lower Saxony, and that's going to be the one that's alphabetically first. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Or I can't keep stopping with these things. And so, no effect, so no unrest or diverse faith in there to the one area. Select the first area. First is area, then adjacent alphabet. So that's going to be the adjacent alphabet. That's going to be the first one. Let's go with that. Let me know your thoughts, though. But I mean, I think. Well, hold on. The other way to do this, if I really feel like I'm reading the rule book, is the first area that I pick. Well. Like the reply was, you don't want to pick an inland area first, because if he picks there, then he's got these areas adjacent. So if they come alphabetically, yeah, Gotland is gained. So if I pick there, Gotland is gained the one that's adjacent alphabetically. So that's the one that's got to be targeted, going by how we're in that. So that's why I was saying in the reply that I wouldn't pick. But if we were to pick one of their areas right now, going alphabetically, you've got Jutland. Well, in fact, it would be that would get picked, wouldn't it? Gotland and Skane. And then, so from there, I suppose you would pick Pomerania, because you're not going to pick your own ones. You've got to step in there, surely. I know I did it before, and then Martin said, well, I would have picked Alpha. But he did explain that because the bots got to roll the Rebel dice differently, that did make sense. But here, I can't see how we can initially pick the first one alphabetically without, yeah, because if you pick there, then alphabetically it's still not taking you into there. It would take you to there, and that doesn't make sense at all, does it? It doesn't. So that's why you've got to step in and pick one of the outskirts ones. So I'm going to pick Jutland, and then we're going to pick Lower Saxony. I can't remember what it was. Well, we can read what's on the card, Grant. So we're going to... Yeah, because there's no effect, and I'm going to stick by the event suggestion. When I seen that, it put me off a bit, because I thought, well, that's changing everything up. Denmark should really get an unrest here, and this diverse faith in the first area, and that's taking that away with this event suggestion. But I did say I was going to use it, and that's what it says, so it seems to be recommended. I think Martin was quite keen on it as well. The guy must have put a lot of work in it, and there's obviously reasons for it, and it's probably fair to do that, or maybe if they spent a lot more time working out how the events work with bots, this is the sort of thing, let's just say you had a heretics card for the multiplayer and you had a heretics card for the bot, and you can imagine how much more stuff there would be in the box, but and then it would do it that way because it's fairer, I suppose. somehow. So we're going to get diverse faith token in both areas. So Lower Saxony is going to get a diverse faith token. So it was Catholic. Now I've got one of them. So that goes in there, right? Hang on, I'm not showing you that. That's it there. That's going in there. And I'm not quite sure what that does. Yeah, I'm not awful sure what it does. What I think I'll do is... that's another 22 minutes. And I've got 30 minutes there, so... And I'm going to have to take a break shortly as well. So I'm probably going to be just cutting this as another part. And what are we going to have done? One event. That's if I get this complete. Right, so we've got the diverse faith. And then add 2 unrest on one of your own towns. Well, that one's getting ignored, remember? And then in the first area. And on the second... and on any 2 towns in the second area. And then the last bit must just be ignored. So there's going to be unrest. Oh, how do you do that then? How do I do unrest on realms that aren't... I don't know. No, the NPR... In fact, I just read it today when I was reading some more of the rules again. NPRs cannot get unrest, I think. I'm sure I just read that today. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I just read it today. I was reading through the rules again, just reading over some bits, and there we go in the rebels part, and you get to unrest here. And the last sentence is, occupant does not count for any purpose. Right, it's the last sentence. NPR provinces can never have unrest. Okay. Well, what do I do now then? I don't think... Well, actually, there's nothing that Denmark can do. There's no... All the things that he's adjacent to are all non-player realms. I mean, there's us. We're in Brandenburg here, but he's not. He's not got adjacency to Brandenburg. And everything else, I mean, even Norway, which I was looking at first, their towns are these are non-player. It's a non-player realm. Okay, well, I think all that we can do is put the diverse faith token in them, and then we cannot add unrest. There's not another area that we could pick that's going to give unrest. I mean, if I could do it to Brandenburg, I would do it. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to avoid it, but he's not got adjacency to us, has he? There's a line there that separates it. He's got no control. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he still had Hamburg right now, that's what would be happening. And I'm still not sure we resolved all that properly or not. I was trying to look back at it today and start working out how it ended up, but I just thought, well, look, I think we should just move on from it. It was just a bit of a shambles. Yeah. So I think that's all we can do. Okay, I'm gonna just go with that then. And then nothing from the bottom part. Right, now we've got these what are they called? Well, we just need to go to the bottom bit. It tells us the events. What is it? Secondary effects. Right. So we've got the cardinal one first. That's just the cardinal dies, isn't it? There you go. Cardinal dies, use auto resolution rules, but ignore bot's own cardinal. Right, I'm guessing they're just going to take out the Austrian one then, because we've not got one up there. But let's just look auto resolution rules. Eventually found it. Right, in the event rules, secondary effects, page 41 here. Cardinal dies, auto resolution. Well, let's read it all. You must remove any cardinal except the Roma one from the Papal Curia. Slide remaining to the left to fill the gap. Or resolution, remove the rightmost cardinal belonging to the player realm with the most cardinals. Well, that is Denmark, but he can't select his own. So it is, he's going to just target the Austrian one. If two or more tied, remove the rightmost belonging to one of these player realms. Yeah, I mean, it does say that he can't select his own. So... yeah. Right, so, yeah, I mean, there's two Danish cardinals and there's one Austrian, so surely that bites the dust. Now, it said move them, slide the remaining to the left to fill the gap. So, there you go. I think that's how that works. Right. Right, now I'm going to have a problem. This is the DMPRs. And although it's not the blue one that we're using for France, it says in the scenario that suggests you use them to apply. Right, actually, here it's here. Although, should we not look at the bot but first, Grant? Yeah, I think you should. Hang on. Right, so there's a bot. Use auto resolution. Okay. But ignore areas where the resolving bot owns any provinces. Okay. Right. There's maybe a bit in this. What does auto resolution say? All the NPRs are the same colours as the symbols annex and adjacent NPR province. Prioritise provinces in areas where the DMPR already owns provinces. Then provinces in areas adjacent to the realm by land. They will target the eligible NPR with the lowest NPR strength. Several realms tied, use alphabetical order among adjacent provinces owned by the tied realms. Well, that seems to me like, I was just about to say we're going to look at it and then look at it alphabetically, but it kind of covers that there as well. So my problem is here that I don't want to put these tokens out. So what I'll do is take a little note of the one that's going to get here. Right. Well, looking at France. Now there's its capital. And these are big towns. So anything. So what was that? Auto resolution. All DMPRs are the same colours as the symbol annex, and we're just using French. That's what we've got in that scenario. Annex an adjacent NPR province. Prioritize provinces and areas where the DNPR already owns provinces. Okay, so Avignon would be one, because it owns provinces in there. I mean, so would these, right, there's a few. Okay, and then already owns provinces, then provinces in areas adjacent to the realm by land. Well, they're all adjacent by land. They will target the eligible NPR with the lowest NPR strength. And then if several are tied alphabetically. Well, maybe it is Avignon then. That starts with an A. It's got a strength of 1. Well, has it though? Right, well, you can see that Bordeaux there, it's got a strength of 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Oh no, that's English, isn't it? So they've got down here, they've got loads. Right, so it's not going to be that. Anjou has 1, 2, 3, you can see. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's got a lot as well. This has got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, Avignon, is it sitting on its own? That looks like the one that's getting it then, eh? Because it's only got a strength of 1. I suppose you need to find it on the map, on the realm thing, to see what its tax income is. Avignon, that's not a capital though, Grant, so there must be something else. Oh, it's Roma. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe not. Right, hang on. Right, it's a struggle finding all these, honestly. This Savoy, Burgundy, this has got a 4 strength. Now hang on. When it says strength though, Grant, that's just meaning the strength of the actual thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm getting carried away here, looking at where did it say? They will target the eligible NPR with the lowest NPR strength. Yeah, to me that's their tax value, isn't it? So that is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Avignon's actually 4 as well. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be alphabetically first. Province. You've got Anjou there. Province. Wait, there it's there. Oh, that's only 3. Okay, that's only 3. Province, Languedoc. So there's 1, 2 there. And there's the one here, Anjou. So alphabetically, I think that's the one then. And that's the lowest strength. Okay, so I'm going to take Anjou. And what that would get a DNPR token. But what I'm going to do is take a little note of that. Hopefully. I want to get this video wrapped up, to be honest. So, yeah, let's just hope that you... Oh, no, you better not do that, right? Where are they? I set them aside. There they are. What I'm going to attempt right now is just putting one of these on here, and hopefully that will remind me to take some note of that. I'm not going to put the rest of them out, and if I take a note of what they are, then come the time that if they do activate, then I've got a note of which ones have already been taken over, right? Okay, so that's the event done. Yes, I believe so. So that can go away, and that's, who was that? That's Denmark, isn't it? We put coins on. Yeah, we've done that. That's right, and we've revealed the other card. So that's Denmark completed their event. And yeah, so our part, and all I've done is like resolved an event. Yes, indeed. Right, I'm going to just put these two parts together because let's say I cut the other bit. I'm pretty sure that's just over an hour now. So, I'll hopefully get back for another bit later, and tomorrow I should get time as well. So hopefully I can start getting things moving a little bit. But I no doubt there's going to be speed bumps on the way. This is even rereading some of the rules today, watching another bit of some more of Bridger's stuff. He done 2 or 3 things and I was like, I have no idea what's going on there. He does do it pretty quick, but then his videos aren't taking as long as mine, as you can see. Right, I'll be back a bit later anyway. Cheers.